grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Saint Raphael, Saint John. Okay, have a seat. So, good afternoon. So, I was expecting more people to come. Huh? Anyway, let's pray for those who are not here yet, and those who will be watching this. And let's pray for the Pope, since he just passed away. And as customary, we pray for those who have gone ahead, even if he is the Pope. I offered this morning's Mass for his soul, so I will continue doing so these coming days. And let's not forget to pray for the conclave that's going to be convened soon, within the month, most probably. The cardinals of the world who are 80 and under will convene, will meet in Rome, and elect a new pope. So the first topic I wanted to bring up with you is on God. He is I remember studying a book, well, a series of books that were written by a man whose name is Saint Thomas Aquinas. And Saint Thomas, UST, that's Santo Tomas. That's Saint Thomas Aquinas, who is Italian. He wrote a book or set of books entitled, was this the Summa Theologiae. So the structure of these books is what the ancients or the classics called exitus reditus in Latin. Exitus, going out of God, and then reditus is to go back to God. So that's the structure of the books. So creation. So outside God, God created, and all his works outside. Sanctification, salvation, institution of the church, institution of the sacraments, outside. And then the structure is such that from these topics, he comes back to himself, God. So why I point that out, because God is the center of this universe. If there was no universe, there would only be God. And we will take up creation another class. But I remember this Genesis chapter 1, creation of the world, the creation of man. You familiar with that? In the first fall, chapter 3 of Genesis. And if you remember, the serpent, who is Satan, tempted our first parents, Adam and Eve, to disobey God. But he did it in such a way that it was about not trusting God on his word, but to trust more his word, the devil's word. Because he told them, that's not true that you will die. No, if you will eat the fruit, as God said, you will die. But no, you will not die. Totally opposite of what God had warned them about. And because he knows that when you eat the fruit, when you disobey him, your eyes will be open. You will be like gods. So really, wow. So in other words, God was hiding something from them. And he just prohibited them from doing something. And in that way, he impeded them. He stopped them from being like him. So they smelled the temptation, the seduction, the attraction to become gods. And you will know the difference between good and evil, the devil told them. That meant that it would depend on them, because they would be like gods. It will depend on them what is good or bad. So they can determine what is good and what is bad. So they looked at the fruit. No? They saw that it was attractive. When you want to avoid something, don't look at it. No? The more you look at it, the more you will get it. So stay away from it. But that's not, they did not know. They did not practice that. So they ate the fruit. And you know what happened? Their eyes became open. They were open. And they saw they were naked. Well, they were already naked before. But they started to have problems with their bodies. Their bodies became unruly, just like you, our bodies. Unruly because we are sleepy when we're not supposed to be sleepy. No, we want to do something, but we are lazy. No, the body does not follow immediately, and sometimes it revolts. No, it rebels against you. No, you get to start doing something you did not like to do, but you get to do it, and the things that you were not supposed to do, you get to do it. No? So it's unruly, topsy turvy. No, and that's because of the sin they committed. They stopped from being attached to God, so everything in their system stopped obeying what is above them. So the lower things rebelled against what is above. No? So it becomes like a rebel, no? A revolution. Anger became accentuated, no? Laziness, pride. What I want to point out to you is the problem of pride. That word is a little problematic because we use pride also in good ways. No? I am proud to be studying in UST. I am proud to be a Filipino. That's good. No? My parents are proud of me because I have done well in school. So they're very happy with me. No? So that's a good pride. But there is a bad pride, which more or less is better called selfishness. Selfishness. And this is what I wanted to point out. The self became the center of the universe. Not God, but Adam and Eve in themselves. They would say something good or bad depending on how they felt about it or how they thought about it. If they felt or thought about it in a certain way that something is inconvenient, no, not good for him, he would not do it because he saw it like that. No? Whether I should get an abortion, whether I should pass my homework on time or to cheat. So we think we get to think because of that first sin in a self-centered way. Huh? I will do this if it will benefit me, materially speaking. So you pay me $1 million, maybe I will do it. So you become the basis of your judgments. Your feelings can become also the basis of your assessing something. This is good because it feels good. You know that song? It feels so right, so therefore you do it because it feels good. You get what I'm saying? Huh? If it gives me pleasure, I justify myself to do it because it's pleasing. I remember someone telling me that masturbation is, I mean, it cannot be a sin because it is pleasing and because it does not harm anyone. I am not harming anyone. That kind of reasoning is very self-centered, self-serving. Huh? It justifies me because I'm not harming anyone. But you know, I wanted to tell him, but you're harming yourself. Hmm? Well, I'm not going into that. I explained it to him at that time. We forget that we are affected. Huh? When I commit a sin, I accentuate only what benefits me. The pleasure, the advantage, the wealth I get. People will like me, right? You familiar with these kinds of values? Because you're teenagers. Huh? And I remember being a teenager, and even up to now, that a motivation could be something that tickles my ego. It becomes attractive because it makes me famous. It makes me likable by the girls. Huh? Or it makes me have high grades without having to try or study much because cheating. Hmm? I emphasize this as I introduce this topic I wanted to bring up here in the class about God. Because we are beset, no, we are sick with this kind of sickness, no, this illness of the soul. It is possible to forget God. It is possible to put God on the margins. No, God, I don't bother me. Huh? You can say that. And you may judge things in that way because it does not, I don't want to go to Mass, for example, because it's about God, right? But I like to go to the beach. So we don't go to Mass. Huh? So self-centeredness, selfishness, the self. No? So the axis of the universe changed on that day when Adam and Eve sinned. Instead of God being the source and the center of the universe, everything revolves around, God was displaced by man. Instead of saying, I believe in God the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, the selfish will say, I believe in myself, and I am the one who created God. I don't know if you met people like that. They think that God is only a product of the mind of man. You follow? Just like you made a jet plane or you invented a kind of operating system, and you think also that you were the one who created everything, like the idea of God. It's just a product of your imagination, like K-drama. Since you are a Korean, so creative, no? The stories, no? The way they make the films, uh, is very enviable. Even Hollywood can learn a lot from Korean movies. Hmm? So you can believe in yourself so much that you put God outside. And the attitude, one attitude is called atheism. I don't believe there is God. That's what you call atheism. Theism, theos in Greek is God. So you put an a, so no God. Hmm? That's an attitude which some people may adopt. But it's curious because until last century, until the revolution in Russia, the communists won, 1917, everybody believed in God. There is a God. Maybe we don't agree what kind of God, but there is God, a supreme being. Okay? But after that, because of, I don't like to have God, I believe in something else. We can do that. And it has been done. And this brings up even the, what you call, practical atheism. You live your life as if there is no God. Yeah, because you don't like to pray, or, I believe in God. I know there is God, but I don't want to pray as much as my mother. No? Or I don't want to go to Mass on Sundays. I have other better things to do. So you live as if God does not exist. This is what you call practical atheism. In practice, you don't believe there's God. But in theory, you know that there's God. There are very many practical atheists, but very few atheists, absolutely, thinking that there is no God. a step close to atheism is what you call agnosticism. Agnosticism, wherein a person does not deny God, but only claims that it is hard to know God. It's hard to reach Him. It's hard to connect with Him. No? So he thinks that to reach God, to deal with God, is impossible. That's an agnostic. Okay, some are agnostics in the world. It's a step away from atheism because you just make one more step. Maybe there's no God. So that's why there's no God in it anyway. So that you become an atheist, theoretical atheist, practical atheists. Many Catholics could be a practical atheist. They don't give credence to God. They don't like to know what He thinks about something. Uh, Live as if God does not exist. Okay. Now, that's out of the, so that is very important. When we talk about God, our big enemy is selfishness. In other words, we will know less of God. It will be harder to know God if we are selfish. If we don't do anything about it, we'll end up very far from God. Okay? Now, the next thing I wanted to iron out is the idea of God. Okay? I say this because people may have a wrong idea of God. Wrong. Why? Because God is not part of the universe. He is not some kind of genie. You know a genie? The genie. What's the name of that? You rub this vessel, and then the genie comes out. Huh? Big, powerful, like that. No, no. God is not like that. God is not another part of this universe. That's why the important word to keep in the mind if you want to deal with God is that He is transcendent from this world. Transcendent. He is beyond this world. He is not a part. This universe does not contain God. You know a container? Huh? You have a small container, let's say 1 liter. So you can only put 1 liter inside of water. If you have 10-liter container, you can put 10 liters of water inside. Huh? The universe, you might imagine to be a container, and then everything inside are everything that exists. Huh? God is not inside that container because He's much bigger than the universe. Not only in size, no, no, like a bigger genie. No, that's not the God we're talking about. When we say supreme being, we don't mean a being like another, was this blue whale? You know, it's a blue whale, largest sea animal, right? No, he's not a bigger he's not a bigger creature. Huh? He's not a bigger lion or bigger, more powerful than everyone else. No, no. He is beyond this world, but at the same time, He is in the world. You get it? Transcendent. Huh? Uh, so don't imagine Him to be like another man or Jesus Christ who just died and rose from the dead. He is God. Huh? He is God embodied. He has a body and soul. He has a human will, a human mind. He is God. But God is also everywhere. He's not only in Jesus Christ. He is not only in the sacred host, in the Mass. God is much more than any of that. When we say that He is all-powerful, huh, we mean that He is all-powerful. He can do anything. And one of the things He did was to create from nothing. Okay, that's what we have in mind when we say God. He can create. But the word create is used very loosely in our modern language. Because, well, I created the computer, no? Or I created that virus. I created this painting. Well, you created in the sense that you made it. But to create, you should have nothing. And then you produce something. Only God can do that. And He can do that from the tiniest electron or subatomic particles to the largest, the whole universe. Well, He can make other universes. He is not limited to this one. He is transcendent. He is immanent. He is also here, huh? Everywhere. And He is, in some places in the world, they believe that God is everything. Hmm? Pantheism. Pantheism. So everything, panorama, no? When you look all, everything is part of God. This cannot be. No? I don't think I'm a part of God because God is infinite, supreme being. So I am not supreme being. Huh? I am very lazy. I am very small. I'm very slow. I'm very weak. I commit mistakes left and right. No? Okay? So that's pantheism. Everything is God. But God is transcendent, beyond. Hmm? And God has no cause. No one has made God. Because if someone made God, he cannot be God. Right? Because that someone made God. So he must be God, not the God that you thought about. No? So we cannot say or ask the question, who made God? Hey, huh? Who made God? You cannot ask the question. Because the idea of God is that nobody made him. And why is he there? Because he's God. And why do we know that he exists? Well, we'll take it up in a few moments. We deduce that there is God. But before that, the idea of God is that he is transcendent, he is uncaused, no one has caused him. No one has made him become. God is all perfect, no defects, no change. The third thing I wanted you to keep in mind when we talk about God is that since we are not God, we cannot understand Him in the way that He understands Himself because we are finite. So we know God by parts. It's like eating, sometimes my mother used to give me a lot of food in one plate. A lot of food. No? Rice, I don't know, crabs, because she liked to give us crabs. At the same time, she gave us pork, no? And then this pancit. It's a lot. No? For me to eat that, I cannot put it all in my mouth because I'm finite. My mouth is much smaller than the plate, right? So how do you eat it? Exactly, spoon by spoon. No, you break it down into parts and then you can take it. But with God, since He's infinite and I am finite, I cannot grasp Him in one go. No? So I break Him down into parts. So I understand that He is transcendent. I understand also that He also thinks. He also loves. He cares for others. He is compassionate. He is also merciful. He is also fair and just. So all of those is in God. But in God, everything is the same because He doesn't have parts. If he had parts, he could change. Me, I have so many parts, things can break down because there are many parts. That's why you call death decomposition. Decomposition. Huh? What is the Korean term for decomposition? Pupe? Really? Okay. Decompose. Compose is to put together. Cum together. Cum in Latin. And then you put things together in position. And then decompose is to break them into parts. When you are dead, it will start rotting. Huh? Because you have parts. But an angel has no parts. So he cannot die. He cannot decompose. Huh? And God also is pure spirit, so he cannot decompose. Okay. So that one. No? So he is transcendent. He is omnipotent. No? He is infinite. But our knowledge of him is by parts because we cannot understand him in one go. We see only parts of God. Huh? Have you heard the story of the blind men? I don't know. There were five of them or so in front of an elephant. No, so each of them was holding a part of the elephant. So they were asked one question: no? What do you think are you in front of? No, what are you holding? So there's a blind man holding the one of the legs. Another blind man is holding the snout, no, or this trumpet, or how do you call that? No? Or one other one is holding the horn of the elephant. Hmm? So if you ask them that question, what do you think you're holding? So they will only give you a part. They will never tell you that they're holding an elephant because they're only holding a part. Huh? So sometimes when we know God, we confuse the two. Huh? We think that God is like this, small, what you can eat, what you can handle, and then you make it big. No, 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 no. God is everything together. He is just, He is merciful, He is patient, He is compassionate, all in one. Hmm? Perfect. Huh? In one God. Okay? Can there be two gods? Why? But why can there only be one God? Has to? Has to what? Sorry? One God has to? Yeah. So that God, what if I tell you that there are two uncreated gods? Is that possible? Why not? When you say God, di ba? We go back to the first thing. He is infinite. No? So, He has everything. All the perfections. Now, if you say there are two or three gods, you're saying that I have all the perfections, and then He also, another God, all perfections, and the other one, all perfections. So, what perfections does He have that I don't have? If I say I have everything. So, you contradict yourself. He cannot have all perfections because I have all of them. Right? So there's only one God. Okay? Now, lastly, before we proceed to his existence, there was a method in the early centuries of the church when we try to know God, hmm, which is maybe like a summary of what we just said from the beginning of class to now. Right? It is the triple way. Three. Three. It's called three ways in knowing God. One is the eminent way, the second is the dark way, and then the last one is the super eminent way. Okay? If I don't know your parents, for example, no? But I know your parents in somehow because I know you. Right? Is that right to say? I think so because you are the product of your parents. So you have things of your parents, no? The way you move, the way you, your temperament, no? May come from the mixture of the two, your parents, no? The same with you, the same with you. Huh? That's why when I go to a funeral, no, and I am invited to say the mass, I don't know the I don't know the one who died, no? But I know his father. Okay, so since I know his father, I know a little about the son who died, right? Because they're related. Huh? So when we know God, we don't see him. Have you seen God? No, I have never seen God, no, as God. I can see God when he is in the host, because that is God. No? I see God behind everything that exists. No, when I see, when I experience, I don't know if you were around with that big earthquake. Most probably you were not yet around. No, in the 1960s, there was in Cebu, there was a huge earthquake that the city became like Sana'a. You know Sana'a, the capital of Yemen. Yemen. It was bombed by the U.S. No, so it was reduced into a moonwalk. You know what's a moonwalk? Moon landscape destroyed. Huh? Cebu became like that because of that earthquake. And that is just a sign. Huh? Many people in the past, ancient tribes, when they experienced a catastrophe like that, they get an idea about God. Someone who is so powerful that he can do this to punish us. So I only experienced the earthquake. But when I say that God is so powerful that he can cause this earthquake, I have an idea what God is. He is powerful because he made the earthquake. Hmm? God is powerful. I get an idea about his power when there's this lightning, it strikes something and destroys it. Hmm? I get an idea of God, his power from the storms that come. Hmm? Okay. So I know God because I know the storm. I know God because I know the earthquake. Because I've never seen God. Okay? So that is what is the positive way. I know God as powerful, intelligent, because I see those perfections here on earth. The second way is the dark way, meaning I don't know God. We say we don't know God because we never see him. And what I know is the earthquake, the storm, the lightning, huh? And all these other things that you see in the world. Although in the first way, when I saw something perfect in the world, like you're very intelligent. So because God, who is your father, is super intelligent. So I understand that God is intelligent. But second, I don't know God as intelligent because the intelligence I know is you. You're the one I met. You're the one I know. But not God because God, I never seen him. Right? So that's the second way. The third way is the superlative. Superlative, you know what is superlative? Um, handsome, and most handsome. That's a superlative. The most. Huh? Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. You know the adjectives when you make them, when you make them their comparative sense or tense or whatever. Huh? Large, larger, largest. Big, bigger, biggest. Biggest is the superlative tense. Okay? You follow? So, first way, God is intelligent or powerful. Second way, God is not powerful. Because the powerful I know is only the powerful here in this world. Third way, I know God to be super powerful. Although I don't see him face to face, I can say that he is most of what I see in this world. You follow? So, I am intelligent, Einstein is intelligent, so God is intelligent. But he is not intelligent like Einstein because God is much more. Therefore, I say that God is superlative, super intelligent. He is super kind. He is super, huh? Whatever, perfection you find in the world. Okay? I wanted this in the introduction to clarify how we know God. Because sometimes you might think, like for example, some people think like this. Why do you believe in God? What's your name? Charles. Charles. Why do you believe in God? You said that God is good. And why is there so much evil in the world? If he was good, and if he exists, really, then there shouldn't be evil. So what will you say? Right. I mean, no one is arguing about that. But since God is good and he can remove evil, why doesn't he remove that evil? If he exists, huh? So maybe he does not exist because he cannot remove the evil. Free will. That's right. That's right. But why did God, if he is good, remove that so that there will be no more evil? Yeah, and there's a test, etc. So God's mind is much more than our mind. Hmm? You remember the selfishness in the beginning? That is the way a person thinks selfishly. He is the standard of good and evil. He. So if I don't like that, I said like that. No, if God is good and if He exists and He is good, why doesn't He remove the evil? No. So he who says that He should remove that evil to be good? The person, me, man. No? The one who uses that reasoning to prove that there is no God. No? And God is much more. We cannot attempt even to try to understand everything He does. We can understand something because we are very small. Have you seen an ant? Imagine, can that ant think like me? No. It can't even figure what I am. Huh? Because it's just an ant. And the distance between the ant and me is very small compared to the infinite distance between me and God. And why will I, put forward, no, as a proof that He does not exist, something that only I can understand? You know, uh, my criteria for what is good and bad. Of course, it's good if there is no evil. Huh? In fact, God made that. There was no evil before when He created Adam and Eve. He did. But who introduced evil? Well, the devil. He's also free, So he chose not to serve God. So that's why evil started and hell started. No? But for man, there was no evil. But since he was tempted and he followed and trusted the devil more than God, then you can have people who can also go to hell. There's evil started in the human race. No? God is much, much more. Someone will ask you, why did he permit the Second World War? Or let's forget the Second World War. Let's just talk about Mao Zedong. You know Mao Zedong? He killed more people than World War One, World War Two combined. Huh? He killed many more because of his failed policies in food production. It's very funny. These communist, and people admire them, but they don't read history. No, he killed so many people, unimaginable. Huh? So why did God permit that? Well, I don't know, but I'm sure he has a reason. It's a reason which I cannot understand now. No, in fact, I remember also an atheist who who said no that there cannot be God because there's evil. What do you tell him? Because there's evil, there's no God. What do you tell him? That there's evil and not God, right? So this man who thought like that, not that because there's so much evil in the world, there cannot be God. Then someone else asked him, why do you think it's evil? Why, what makes evil? There is evil like there is darkness because there is no light. Huh? Evil exists because God exists. It will not be evil if there is no God. No? I mean, there will be no rotting fruit if there is no fruit in the first place. No? There has to be light, and then you will start, you can appreciate there's darkness. No? So if there is evil, there must be good. And the supreme evil, and then there must be supreme good. And that's God. Okay? Now that's it. Now, God, the existence of God is a topic that has been uh, talked about by man ever since the beginning of man. Hmm? We have a natural knowledge of God, starting with our knowledge of natural things, nature. Hmm? Nature. Uh, That's how we know about God. Since time immemorial, man has always asked, no, why is this here? The sunset, the Grand Canyon, and the stars, no? The galaxies. If you go to the province where there is no Meralco and no electric light, and you look at the sky, it's full of stars. Huh? You get a telescope so big. Huh? And me, I'm very small. Huh? And why is it there? No? And automatically, by instinct, man who is intelligent deduces, reasons out that there must be the maker. Because how will you explain it? I did not make that. And the magnitude of all those stars is staggering that I don't think anyone can make them all. It has to be someone who is so powerful, so huh? It cannot fit my head. Huh? And that is how man has reached the existence of God. Our smallness in the midst of so much greatness. Pope John Paul II, no, he liked to go vacationing in the Alps. Have you been to the Alps? So much white and mountain, beautiful mountain peaks, no, and ice and ice white. No, he liked to go there vacationing, go skiing when he still could. But when he could not anymore, he would still go there because he liked to contemplate. No? He liked to look at this creation, so big, so beautiful. There must be God. There was this Pope Benedict the 16th. No, he liked music, so he was attending a concert. I don't remember what they were playing. The concert was playing, no? What the symphony, etc. Orchestra was playing. He was beside another non-Catholic prelate, and I don't know what it is, maybe an Anglican or something. At the end of this beautiful piece, he told his companion there, no, God exists. He made that conclusion from the beauty of this, the sound, the symphony of sounds, the harmony of all those sounds together. God exists. And the other one said, I also think so. because it was beautiful. Because when an intelligent being will always ask instinctively inside at the back of his head, where did that come from? Who made that? How come it's so beautiful? There must be God who is beauty itself. Okay? So from our knowledge of natural things, because there are what you call supernatural things. Supernatural meaning above nature. And what is above nature? Well, God. God is above nature. So what God tells us in the scriptures, etc., that's supernatural. Supernatural comes from above us. Natural comes from what we see around. We can prove God in his existence from natural things. From cats, from lions, from flowers, etc. And how do we do that? Huh? Things of nature reveal God to us. And how do they reveal God to us? By being the cause. You will always ask the question, why is this here? Who made it? Because you look at this book, for example, in this Chronica, that one, Chronica, all these things here in the table, implicitly, you know someone placed it there. I mean, this did not just come here, I don't know, no, by chance. No? I mean, someone put it here. That's why when you play detective, there's a crime. The obvious thing is there's a crime. Murder, whatever, torture, victim, etc. Rape victim, etc. So you will not say, it happened by chance. You see, someone did this. And you're going to look for the criminal. Ah, this is the basis of all our structures in society. Someone did this. Ah, why? Because something bad happened or something was designed. Who made this operating system? Who made this program? No, we take it for granted, but that's basic to all intelligent creatures. We seek the cause. Because if you go to the cause, you can find more of it that you like. Huh? Okay? So we go to the cause. Huh? Very important concept. Uh, then there are 5 ways that St. Thomas made or identified. 5 ways. Huh? There are many other ways to prove God's existence, but we'll just take this up. But all of them uh, are structured in the same way. There is evidence, and then you look for a cause. And the cause, and looking for the cause, we cannot say that there is an infinite number of causes. No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 cause 2, 2 cause 3, 3 cause 4, and up to infinite. Because we will not be able to explain what happened. No? Something had to cause it all. Okay? The first way is characterized principally by motion. Huh? You know billiards? Billiards. So you hit one ball, the ball hit another ball. Imagine a very big billiard table and full of balls, no? And then you hit one ball, it will hit the other one, hit the other one, hit the other one, hit the other one. No? Motion, movements. It moved because there was a first mover. So the evidence is motion. Because you see motion, it's very obvious that there is motion in the world. Motion can mean also change. Motion is not only spatial. No, motion can also be any kind of change. No, from paper to ash. That's emotion. What made the paper become ash? The fire. But who put the fire? Me. Who put me here? No? Well, someone. No? And you have to come to an end in justifying that event. Because if you don't, you will never find the culprit who caused the arson. No? Everything that moves is moved by another. This is a basic principle. No? But through this way, we arrive at God as the first mover who is not moved. So I told you in the introduction, no, that God, when we understand the concept of God, God is, period. No, no one caused him. You cannot ask the question, who moved God? No, no one else but himself. Okay, the second way is similar to this motion, but from the point of view of the mover. Every effect has a cause. Is this disputable? Every effect has a cause. What effect or what does not have a cause? God. And God is never an effect because He is first. Okay? Every effect has a cause. God is the uncaused cause and the first cause. The third way is different. The evidence that Saint Thomas identifies here, no? That's why you have to find out what caused it, is contingency. No? What is contingency? Uh, what may not be is contingent. So me, I may cease to exist. So I am contingent. Huh? Uh, you know what is contingency? Contingency plans. So you make a plan like that, no? Make a project and something fails. Anyway, there's a plan B, contingency, because something may not be. No, you make a plan, you make assumptions. No, this is like this. I assume this, but I never assumed that. I never thought that there will be a storm. So, you know, uh, I never thought also that I will die. I make all my plans. No, vacation. I will do this. I'll do this. I'll do this. But what if you die? Are you prepared for death? So you have to make the contingent, because it's contingent. Things may not be, may disappear, may not be. It may fail. Huh? So that is the evidence that we find in the world. Trees disappear, people die, is on the fact that the world, there are contingent things. No? This may disappear from the table. This may be transferred to some other place. The books in our library, many of them were given to others, so they are not here anymore. So they may not be. This is very different from, this is the opposite of necessary beings. Necessary things are things that cannot not be. Huh? For example, my soul, an angel, is necessary. It was created and it cannot not be. It cannot disintegrate because it's fully, perfectly spiritual. Okay? So, but man, I may not be, no? I may die, but my soul continues, no? But my body is contingent. So we see this, the world is full of contingent beings. So what is a contingent being? Contingent, therefore, is caused by another. Hmm? That's why it can be contingent. It may disappear, but why is it there? Because someone put it there. So it cannot be that everything is contingent beings. The world is full of contingent beings. So there must have been a moment that we arrive at that everything ceased to exist because they're all contingent. So there must be a necessary being that will guarantee that these contingent beings be there. Huh? And then among these contingent beings, there must be the absolutely necessary one. And that is the one we call God. Okay? Now, the fourth way is interesting also. But instead, the evidence that St. Thomas puts forward, that we observe, as you notice, all the evidence here are what you see. No? Motion, effects, and cause, and then this thing of contingency. We see it everywhere. The fourth way, what you observe is differences in perfection. So there are those who are more beautiful than others. No? There is even in the level of beings, you find those small cells, then bigger cells, bigger animals or plants first, then animals, and all these animals, they're different perfections, no? From the very primitive ones and then up until the most perfect. No? So St. Thomas wanted us to picture this in the following way. No? Imagine that in this room there's a fireplace there. It produces heat. It's winter, it's very cold. So the people who are closer to the fire are hotter than the people who are farther from the fire. The same with the planets. No? Those planets closest to the sun are hotter. So Venus, Mars, the Earth, we're hotter than Neptune. No? So there is a gradation, a one more, and there's another more and more, or less and lesser and lesser. No? So this gradation, uh, like in the fire, you have hotter there and less hot, and then least hot because it's farthest. That gradation of heat proves that there must be a source of heat. And that's the fourth way, that the different perfections in the world point to the one who is the one with that perfection. No? Beauty, for example. No? So there are many beautiful girls. You agree? Oh no, the Koreans, no, they're beautiful women. No, the Filipinas, no, Indians, no, different beauty. No? So there must be the source of this beauty. No, that is beauty itself. No? So me, I am after that beauty. If you want to get married, you have to marry. You get only married to one beauty. Huh? But that beautiful person that you'll discover in your life, that there are more beautiful people here. You know, when you went to Norway, wow, huh? Different kind of beauty. You know, it's like when you eat also fruits. Do you like to eat mango all the time? Me, I love mango, but I don't want to eat it all the time. No, I want chico, I want mangustin, I want other fruits because they have a different taste. All of them taste good, huh? But they taste differently good. Huh? But so you can start asking, where is the fruit that has all these tastes, huh? So that I don't have to look for for many kinds of fruits. I just have one, hmm? And that's what we call God. That's the fourth way, perfection, degrees of perfection in things. Now, the cause of perfection in things must be the most perfect being, who is God. Okay? So the last one, the fifth one, is about design. Basically, it's like in the world, we see design. No? For example, no, there's no one doing it. You know RC, no? This remote control radio cars. So you control it like that, no? Uh, and it moves, it stops, it flies, or whatever. So for a child, no, who is there far away, he sees the car coming. No? Wow, it's moving. No? It's moving. Yes, sir. But apparently there is no one controlling it. No, apparently. But there is someone controlling it because if not, it will not be moving like that. No. So when there is a movement towards a purpose, uh, like an arrow that hits the mark, no? You just look at the arrow flying like that, no? And it hits the bullseye. Wow! Because there was someone who was aiming it, no? The one who shot it, who aimed it, and that's why it went there. And you look in the universe, all beings are moving towards a direction, inevitably, all the time, in as if there's no one controlling them. There must be someone controlling them because they are going towards a direction all the time. Eh? So like the arrow, you cannot say. It's just going there in that direction alone. If there is a plan, there is a design, there is a direction, there must be someone who gave the direction. And that's what we call God. That's the fifth way. Hmm? Okay? And any questions? Next time, I will take up with you other ways of proving God's existence. No? The conscience, no? existence of evil, or other ways to prove God's existence. Any questions? But it's good to see you here. Huh? They were saying that you were engaged uh, with something that you finished, that you had to finish. No problem. Next time, huh? We're being filmed, you know. We'll become stars. Huh? Okay, let's go. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.